Alrighty, so I believe we are live. It sounds like we're live, which is good. Oh, just muted myself there for a second. No, we're almost out of garlic. Okay, so we should be good. It looks like we're good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream here. We're running a little bit late. We got to go food shopping. I think the camera is actually a little... I think that's better. It's a little lopsided. So what's going on, everybody? We're back after Thanksgiving vacation or Thanksgiving weekend. How's everybody? Hope your turkey day was good. Couple of things to note before we get into the Q&A. We have a couple sales going on for the rest of the month. So what's today? Today's the 28th, so two or three more days. And there's like 25% off on Anubis plants, or no, Crips plants, and 20% off fertilizer. So if you're in the market for either one of those things, be sure to check those out. We got Brooklyn Hardscape in the chat. What's up, Kevin? We got Derp Gaming. What's going on? So I'm going to answer a couple questions that came in off Instagram first, because typically what I've been doing for the last couple live streams is answering questions that you guys submit on the Instagram page. So I'm going to pull this up here. Oh, can I? There we go. Okay. So it looks like we got maybe about 10 or so questions, 12 or so questions maybe. So yeah. Let's see, where are we going to go with? Okay, so Plaid Dad Barker asks, what is EI dosing and do you use it? So EI dosing is essentially, it's called estimated index dosing. It was kind of pioneered by Tom Barr, and Tom Barr was well known in the aquarium hobby. And basically it has to do with dosing enough fertilizer of different elements, so nitrogen, potassium, iron, all the different ones, to give your plants the necessary nutrients and kind of a little extra every single day. And then you do a 50% water change to remove excess that is left over in the aquarium after a week. So basically you dose, usually it's every day. You could also figure out EI dosing for 5 days with 2 days rest, and then you do a water change on the 7th day. I had used it in the beginning. I still somewhat use it. Jake actually does most of the dosing for the tanks downstairs. On the tanks up here, I actually don't do any dosing at the moment because I'm testing out some things and seeing if, seeing kind of what the repercussions of not doing any dosing whatsoever will have. And also seeing how long the soil that we use in the tanks lasts. And so far everything's been working out pretty well. So I don't use it currently on these tanks, but downstairs in the fish room where all the plants are stored, we do EI dosing. With the exception of we don't typically do a water change every 7 days. We usually top off about every week or so, or sometimes twice a week, depending on how much water is evaporated, and then we'll do like a 50% water change or more about every 2 or 3 weeks, and that's usually Jake doing that. So that's EI dosing. It's a good method. You make sure the plants have all the vital nutrients, but there is some slight. Put it in the fridge right now.
Where in the fridge?
I don't know.
Oh, that's my job to figure it out?
Yeah. Or just leave it on the counter. I'll put it away. So yeah, so that's, you know, EI dosing is good. It does have its problems because sometimes you may be dosing too much, like say potassium, and that can be an issue for your aquarium if your plants aren't utilizing everything. So it's very scientific, and you have to do constant checking of levels to see where you're at, because maybe you'll have to do more of a 50% water change to kind of remove all of those excess nutrients that you may be dosing into the aquarium. So it's one of those, it's more for kind of expert level stuff. And then once, you know, once you get the hang of it, it becomes pretty easy. We do sell the fertilizer though that we sell is based on EI dosing, so the Vital formula is loosely based on EI dosing, and so you essentially get the same amount as that. Let's see. What fish do you have, and what are your best-selling plants? So fish that I have are Celeste Pearl Danios, which are really nice nano schooling fish. Oh, and this plant comes from Aquatic Habit on Instagram. So we also have, I have a big angelfish, I have a goldfish, I got a beta, I got cherry shrimp, blue bolt shrimp, although they're not doing entirely well. I got shell dwellers, which I've done several videos on. And what else? Got some Harlequin rasboras, neon tetras, black tetras, some autosynclists, those kind of things. Not the fish are kind of secondary to me. It's more about the plants when it comes to the aquariums. That's why all these tanks don't actually have fish in them, just because I prefer the plants. The plants are what I'm really like more interested in, and I'm not interested in the fish as much. Count Chaudhuri asks, have you ever considered working with the BioOrb Air? I'm not really sure what that is. I'm familiar with BioOrb. I don't know what the air version is. But no, I haven't. Maybe in the future. Oh, Nova's at the door. Nova! You got an orange? Hey! Hi! She's looking at me like, what the hell? Oh, okay. You gonna yell? So, Torcellin912 asks, tips on growing Bulbitis variants. Leaves shrivel away, and even with CO2 and ferts. Bulbitis can be finicky. You may want to look at temperature. It is a cooler water plant. Also, it does like a lot of flow. So if you don't have a lot of flow, sometimes it may not do well. It also just takes a very long time to grow properly. And now Nova's yelling in the background. What's your favorite style of aquascape? That comes from Owen Gierix or Giro. I like the immersed setup, like paludarium type things like this. I find them very entertaining and cool to look at. Coming from Catch Boxing MMA, the best way to convert those Petco plants sold in plastic gel to planted in the tank. I did a video on this, pretty much just plant it and just leave it be. That goes with any plant, whether it's tissue cultured or not. Once you plant it, kind of just let it do its thing. It's going to take some time to adjust. And Catch Boxing MMI also asks how and when to dose with Chem line, potassium, iron, Excel, and Flourish. What? So Excel is a carbon substitute, and I use quotations there because it's not really a CO2 supplement. It's marketed as one, but it doesn't do the same things that typical CO2 would use or do. As far as the rest of the... What? What, you want to be in the video? You want to be in the live stream? You want to be in it? Excel is typically used as an algicide, if anything, so that I would only dose when you have algae outbreaks. If you want to go that realm, sometimes it's better not to and try and figure out what the cause is. And then as far as the rest of the nutrients, follow as directed with them. You really can't go wrong. But it really comes down to each tank individually. Are we getting some lag? It looks like we're getting some lag. Uh-oh. Are we good? My internet went to hell. No, it looks like it's back. I don't know. What the hell is going on here? Are we good? I think so. Oh, come on. Don't die on me, stream. Don't die on me. I think the stream's dying out here. We'll see though. I apologize if it's bad. Why is my pool filter sand always turning green? CO2, EI dosing, and Fluval 2.0, 75 gallon. That comes from the Planted Tank Nerd. That would be because either one, it's cyanobacteria, which coats the top, which is a type of algae or bacteria that you need to treat. Secondly, it could just be algae in general, and you need something that turns over your sand, much like a pleco, or not a pleco, a Corydora, or some kind of like loach or something. Oh, come on. Alright, I think the stream's alright. I think that's about it on those questions. We'll get into some of those that are on the stream itself. So Derp Gaming says, where in the world do you get that really cool natural looking sand gravel mix like the ones in a Monterey beach sand that Aquapros use? Trying to use it for corridors. I actually don't know. They might make it themselves. Hello, I'm looking for Japanese clover. Do you have it and how much? Are you looking for hydrocodal Japan, or are you looking for Marsilia minuta or Crenata? Because they're kind of two different plants, commonly confused for each other. So I would need to know which one you want. That Wet Thumb, what's up from Cali? How's it going? Catfish, what's going on? Breathe Love, what is the best way to transition immersed grown plants to submerged? Do they melt completely before regrowing? And is it stressful on the plant? So I've already done this in several videos, but basically to sum it all up, what's the best way to transition immersed to submerged? Plant them and leave them be. Do they melt completely before regrowing? Not typically. Typically they'll sprout new leaves as old leaves are melting, but some plants will melt completely back. Crypts, for instance, can melt all their leaves, and you won't see anything, and then a couple of weeks later you'll see leaves sprouting up from that area where it initially was planted. And is it stressful on the plant going from submerged to immersed? Yeah, it's very stressful because the plant's invested all of this time and energy into growing these leaves that don't stand up underwater, and so they essentially melt and or rot back, and the baby is now crying. So yeah. Mommy, what's wrong? But the best thing to do is just leave the plant planted. What is the fastest growing carpeting plant? I want a nice carpet in my fish tank, and I don't want to buy lots of plants because I'm poor. Well, Monte Carlo is really good, and so is Marsilia minuta or dwarf four-leaf clover. Those are two really easy ones that carpet out really quickly, or rather quickly, and those are what I would recommend. Hey, about some of your Nubis Nana Petit, what water parameters are you running in? Mine's liquid stone, so it should be okay, but I'm curious. Mine's virtually the same. I have like a 400 TDS, I think, or 300 TDS in most of the tanks, so should be fine. It's under medium or so light, so yeah. Hey there, I've just upgraded to a 29-gallon long to a 150-gallon tall. I just have swordtails, Anubis, and but I'm wondering if there's a better light penetration in a tank this deep. Thoughts? Yeah, actually, I plan on having a full in-depth video on this, but if you have the money, for the LED, I would do the SB Reef lights. Those are going to give you some really good penetration on that. They're quite expensive. You're talking maybe like $400 or $500. You'll need two 18-inch ones most likely. You could also go with high output T5s, which will give you better penetration for a cheaper price. Hey, Walter, stop it. And yeah, so those are the two lights that I would recommend. Honey, Walter, stop it. So yeah. Why? Yeah. Let's see. I just found a good deal on Jungle on eBay. Asked the seller how it was grown. He says it was grown hydroponically, so I assume that above the waterline on average. Should I let it stay in the rock wool? If it's jungle val, I don't know of any jungle val that really grows above the water. If you've ever had a jungle val, the leaves just flop over, and that's a good tell that the leaves are not grown above the water, because if they're grown above the water, they have to be able to stay upwards. So most likely it was grown in water. I don't know I mean, maybe there's a way. I haven't seen a way that it can be grown above the water. So, Catfish says, excited for winter. I hope there's a lot of snow so I won't have to go to school. Not me. I'm not excited for winter. I dislike winter. It's too cold. And also, it creates issues with shipping plants because sometimes they arrive frozen solid. Jungle Val will need to be planted right off. It's likely to have heavy melt. Yeah, you definitely want to plant it right away. It'll melt either way, whether it was grown above water or underwater. So, what's the best way to get rid of hair algae? Depends on the type of hair algae. Algae Fix has actually been working pretty good for us in the grow out tanks and some of the other tanks. I've been dosing some to see how it works, and it's been working pretty good. But the algae still keeps coming back, so it's not an effective solution long term. It does get rid of what's in there, but it doesn't kill everything in long term. How do you get such a dense coverage of plants? I don't know which, if you're just asking in general or whatnot, but trimming, planting a lot, and replanting as you trim. What's an inexpensive light for a 10-gallon? The Night Crew lights on Amazon. They're like 20 or 30 bucks. Or you could do the pendant light like this. This one's pretty good. What? You want to come be on the live stream? Is that what it is? The baby's staring at me. I need to open this box. It's got plants. Can I use a waterproof lens strip and plug it into a timer? Waterproof lens strip. Maybe. What happened to the 100+ viewers? Well, now a competitor is actually live streaming at the same exact time as me. And I don't know if they're doing it purposely or not, but that's kind of dwindling the turnout on this one, I think. And I was gonna stream earlier, but we have a Friendsgiving coming up this weekend that we're doing with a bunch of people, so we had to go food shopping. So I would have actually streamed at 7 o'clock to avoid this issue. Which Night Crew lights? Which pendant? The pendant is Asta 20. The Night Crew light is the one you're gonna want to look for, one that has red, green, and blue light. I forget the model number, but if you look it up on Amazon, you can easily find it. Do plants care for water temperature? My tank runs about 68 degrees with no heater. Is it too cold for plants? No, I actually have some tanks downstairs that are about 66 degrees with some plants in it. There are some plants that can tolerate cold water. I will tell you one thing. Red tiger lotus does not like cold water. We recently had a huge melt back of them because we threw them in the tank that was 66 degrees and it melted a lot. But most plants can tolerate a large variety. 68, I would say, isn't too cold. I would say like 65-ish is like a really cold temp for plants. But
what time are you live streaming till?
like 9. Why, are you waiting for me to be done?
I would like her to go take a shower and she's still eating.
Okay. So what are you telling me?
I asked a question, Justin. I asked a question.
Okay. After receiving plants in pots with rock wool, how long can you leave them in the pots before removing from the pots? So if you got stems, you'd want to do it within a day or so. You don't want to leave the stem plants in pots or bunches too long because they will start to rot from the place that they're bunched at, and it'll cause most of the plants to die. So what you want to do is you want to try and remove them as soon as possible from the bunches. But a day or two isn't going to matter too much. When it comes to crypts and sword plants, I recommend leaving them in the rock wool for almost like 2 weeks if you can. I mean, you can take them out right away, but I think you're going to see better results if you leave them in there for like a week or so, because the plant's been grown in that rock wool, right? So it's adjusted to that growing condition. And the roots have established. And when you go and you unpot it, all of a sudden it's like sending the plant into shock. So crypts naturally have a large amount of diol when they're put in tanks. It's just part of their chemistry to do so. So by leaving them in the pot, you may reduce, and that really didn't work on what I wanted to do. By leaving them in the pot, no honey, no. By leaving them in the pot, you'll reduce the shock that they go through. Okay. And so that's what I would do with those. Anubis I would take out right away because the rock wool could cause them to have rhizome rot if it's you know, when it ships, if it gets shifted around in the pot, it can become too close to the potted media and that can mess it up. I got a plant here. I'll show you guys this. And that's it. I only ordered this one. Okay. So yeah, and I think that's pretty much everything potted, right? Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, I am a huge houseplant hobbyist. I got a ton of houseplants. I actually have a couple videos recorded for houseplants. I just don't know if I want to air them. I don't know if it's something that people want to see. I mean, I know there's a huge culture around houseplants. I just don't know if it's something that my particular viewers would like to see. But I did get this guy, which I'm super excited about because I've been wanting it for a while. So there's this plant called, gotta be very careful I don't break this. There's this plant called mother-in-law's tongue. And it's also called snake plant. And yeah. And this is, oh, okay. Yeah, I know you see the plant. You probably want to grab it. So this is a snake plant variant. It's actually called a shark fin or a whale fin. And what's really cool about it, what is this? Oh, that's just the leaf. What's really cool about it is most of the snake plants, they have like these very just slender leaves. They're usually a lot narrower than this. I mean, this is the full size of my hand, and they even get bigger from this. So I've been looking for one of these for probably like the last year, and I'm really excited about this. It looks like it may have gotten a little bent up here, but it should be fun. They put up leaves very, very, very slowly. So shark fin. Okay, shark fin snake plant, as Nova yells. So I'm super excited about this guy. Very nice. I hope he makes it because it was rather cold out today. Let's see. H2O plants. Hey, my tanks look really awesome. How can I get them to look more like yours? Well, I don't know. If your tanks look awesome, then I don't know how much more you want them to look like mine, like in regards to more plants or what? 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 Say dada. Dada? I think she's yelling at the dogs. What's the best filter and plants for a turtle tank? So turtles are tricky because most turtles will eat plants. So you kind of have to experiment, and I would buy a couple different plants and see what they do with them. As far as filter, more filtration is probably best because turtles are dirty reptiles essentially. They like mud and stuff like that, and I think they produce a lot of waste. So I would definitely go with a big filter. I'd love to see a houseplant video. Well, maybe I'll do it. I have two videos that I did. One, a couple months back, I repotted a bunch of my plants that I had gotten in early spring and summer. And then I just recorded another one this past week of kind of the same thing. I have a bunch more plants. I have like, I don't know, maybe 100 different houseplants, and they're all over. So, yeah. I've been growing Alternia renaki mini from tissue culture from Tropica, and so far it's been growing good and at a good time. But I've noticed that they are not as red as most pics that I'd have seen in my in picture. How can I make them more red? Most likely it's going to be your lighting. The light is what brings out the reds in plants. Alternia renaki in general has a in their chemical like DNA, they're meant to be reddish. but they still need like a bright light to bring out that red if you want it really deep red. And even some have gotten purple, so definitely more light. What's up, Famous Jones? How's it going? I just planted my order from you. It definitely made my tank look so much better and green again. I've been having such algae problem. Beyond frustrated. I can't figure out what is wrong. Well, the more plants you have, the less flat. You're getting a cough. That's not good. The more plants you have, the less algae you get. Hold on, let me grab her because she's gonna keep yelling. Hey, come here. Okay, there we go. No, leave the packing peanuts alone, you weirdo dogs. No, no, no. They're trying to eat the packing peanuts. Okay. Yeah. Liquid iron will not help red plants turn red. I mean, it is a necessary fertilizer. What are you doing? It is a necessary... No, Walter, stop. Why are you eating packing peanuts? You weirdo. Stop it. Okay. So, yeah. Walter, no, no. Go. Go. Stop eating packing peanuts. Go. Chew. Ben Shaw, I would love to see houseplant videos too. Alright, so maybe I'll edit the one I got. The houseplant video that I have, that I did the other day, is like 50 minutes. It was literally like a whole hour of me repotting plants and doing some maintenance on them. So I'll see if I could cut that down and see what I can do. I just bought a Fluval 3.0 for my 55. Am I ready for highlight plants? You could probably grow like medium to the lower end spectrum of highlight plants. But like really difficult stuff, like wouldn't go with like Ludwigia whites or any of like the super rare difficult plants. But like you could probably do like the Rotalas, the what else? Can you leave it alone? The Gradiola and stuff like that. Some stuff. But I wouldn't go like super difficult plants. Basically anything over $5 a stem, I wouldn't trust under that light. I just dismantled my wall garden in my dining room. It was so much work, and I'd rather be dealing with my tanks than that. See, my thing is I love houseplants because like there's only so many aquariums that I can have. Like, granted, my basement is full of them. What are the dogs doing? What? Okay, what? Okay, what? Okay, you're there. Leave. What are you weirdos doing? Walter. No. Hey. What are you doing? Stop eating the packing peanuts. Are you done there, monkey? She's like holding on like a monkey. Get. They keep trying to eat packing peanuts. Okay. You good? Yeah, anyway, I like houseplants because I got... Ow! You're pinching me. She's grabbing, like, the back of my neck. The houseplants because I can have them everywhere, where the aquariums I really have to be selective of where I put them. What's up, Justin Ward? Do you know any good places to get plants in Canada? I would look at lizziesfishies.com. She sells plants in Canada. What's up? Hesky Walter, yeah. Don't grab my neck, please. What? Yeah. What? Yeah, you want that tank? Your hands are cold. They're ice cold. You try and eat that orange. Okay. Monica says, "Isn't it funny how everything starts to happen with your dogs and the baby the minute you go live?" Yeah, I know. Ow. Do you want her? Not yet?
You're giving her a bath today.
Okay. Do you
Can
want
I leave to go shower, or you need me to grab her?
There goes the orange. There goes the orange. Nah, I got her. Walter, no. Okay. I love houseplants, but I can't get them to grow inside my house, but I am able to grow houseplants in my greenhouse. You may just have to give them time. You know, I've killed a couple houseplants, but they seem to all be fine. I try and get the easy to grow stuff. I love plants too. I'm thinking of showing mine on YouTube. It's my indoor jungle. You should. Oh, you're looking at my snake plant?
Nice.
Yeah, it's the big one I've been waiting for. I got the big one, mommy. We got the big one. What? Where are you walking to? No, what are you doing? Stop eating the things. Stop.
Why don't you pick them up?
I can't because I have her. There.
Multitask, Justin.
There.
He sucks. He sucks at it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, now I got all the packing peanuts, I think. No packing peanuts for you. Go away. Damn dogs. My apartment is like a jungle. When people come in, they're in awe of how much I have. Yeah, Margaret like shows it to everybody and stuff, and they're like, "What the hell?" We have this big 15-foot fig tree in our living room that's just massive. Like, it's huge. PewDiePie or T-Series? PewDiePie. Do you have any suggestions for fast-growing, low-tech plants? Yeah, Water Sprite Lace, Water Wisteria, both really fast-growing plants. What else is pretty fast? Monte Carlo is kind of low light. Fast growers. Anacris, Kambamba, Hornwort, all really good fast-growing plants. What else? What else? What's up? Oh, lilies. Any Apongatons. The Apongatons are super fast.
You got 6 minutes.
Okay. And, yeah. Do you have any suggestions for... Oh, no, I already answered that. Have you heard of fluorite sand? I just ordered it off Amazon. Do certain plants do better than others? If you're talking in reference to your substrate, do plants do better than others in that substrate? Each substrate is different. Different plants will respond differently to different conditions, so it really is going to depend on the plant. I just put some Estrella stellata in my 55. I also have Crypt Pink Flamingo. Other plants are swords and some boosts. Nice, Famous Jones. Very nice. I'm gonna need to pot this guy up. I have a couple more plants coming in. Bummed the tip is a little broken, but that's alright. I'll put up new pups. See, when you get houseplants in the winter or the fall, when you order them, it's best that the roots are completely dry, because even if the plant gets a little frost, like if it's cold out and like maybe it'll get a little chilly on the leaves, as long as the roots don't get impacted, the plant should still grow, especially something that has a rhizome. So that's why these weren't wrapped or anything like that. It's a very good trick. Nice, Famous Jones. I'm glad most of the plants are for me. Which night crew light was the good one? I found the classic LED, bright LED, RGB. I believe it's the RGB. The RGB is the one that has the red, green, and blue LEDs along with white LEDs, so that's the one that you want to look for. David asks, do I have an Instagram account? Yes, we do have an Instagram account. It is H2O Plants. You can find us on there. Yeah. What are some plants with strong roots? Like, for example, I have a filter that creates a high amount of current. What are some plants that hold tight to the substrate? Well, most plants will hold tight to the substrate regardless, but like when I think about heavy rooting plants, crypts, swords, aponjatons, any of the crenums. I pulled out a crenum. You could actually see the video on Instagram. It was like 6 feet long in the 55, and the roots itself were like a foot, maybe even more, but they were probably like 16 inches across in every direction. It was just really big roots. And I threw it in my goldfish tank, and I just shoved a couple of the roots down in there, and the whole thing is rooted down, but the whole, like the bulb is above the substrate, and you could see all the roots coming down, and then it eventually makes its way into the substrate, so it's still growing great, so very, very hardy plant. So I think I'll work on a houseplant on the houseplant video for this Sunday, because I'd like to, like, there's only so many aquarium topics that I could cover or go over before it like kind of almost gets repetitive. I don't think I've reached that limit yet. I still think I have, I mean, probably at least like 20, 30 good topics to talk about that I could just like, I have a list of. But eventually it's gonna run out. Like, there's only so much that you could do with the same information, because it's like, this is how you grow plants. This is this kind of thing. So I'm thinking, when it comes to houseplants, the possibilities are almost endless, and I'd like to make some videos on houseplants just because I find it interesting. I know, like, we don't really sell houseplants other than a couple like the terrarium plants, like the peace lily. But I think it would still be for good information. When you're into aquarium plants, the next best thing is houseplants. So, how can I make an aquaponics system on a 100-gallon tank? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I haven't done one. The RGB one looks like it only can be one color at a time, not all at the same time. I would double check that. I think, let me see. I bought one. The one that I have, actually, it's not over there. Where the hell did I put that light? I don't know where I put that light. I'll have to look for it. Let's see. I'll go to my orders. Night Crew. Yeah, you want it's Night Crew LED light for 16 to 20 inches, planted tank, white tricolor RGB LEDs, 18 watt. This is the one that I got. This is the best one. That's the one I got. Fluoride plant substrate. Hey, what the hell? Go. What's the matter with you? What the hell's the matter with you two? Now this one's being a big baby underneath my lap. Fluoride plant substrate lasts forever and doesn't raise pH. The onyx fluoride sand I got looks good. Looks good, but so hard to keep from getting cloudy when I escape. When foreground plants spread, it will be okay. Yeah, the fluoride from like Seachem doesn't really. Yeah, the dogs. I don't know what they're fighting over. They don't have anything over there. I don't know if it's just the bed or what. Maybe it was a freaking packing peanut that I missed, but I didn't see anything over there. I don't know. That's just weird. They typically don't fight like that, but the little one sometimes gets territorial. Sorry, a bunch of people are like, I jumped. Yeah, the fluoride is pretty good because it doesn't seem to break down, but it doesn't have the best like value at absorbing nutrients for the plants to use. So Monica says, I love your staghorn fern on the wall. Thank you. I have another one coming in that's a bit different than that one. That one, for some reason, I actually have to water it. I'm looking at it. The leaves look droopy. Yeah, time to water those. But this one, the leaves are kind of very ovally, or round. They haven't really branched out. I have another one coming in that's really branchy, so I'm super excited about that one. Regarding the night crew lights, bear in mind RGB is different from full spectrum. I bought one recently, so would no. The one I linked is pretty good. I like it. What types of plants can the night crew RGB light grow? Like, what is the highest light level plant that can grow? Are they good for the low price? I mean, I would say you could definitely get medium and low end of the spectrum of highlight plants, like I was talking about earlier. I wouldn't go anything super rare unless you're doing CO2. And I would make sure it's on short tank, so anything like a 10-gallon would probably be fine. If you tried going like a 29-gallon tall or something, it may not be a whole lot of light. So it's really just has to do with the distance. But guys, we're at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna be heading off here. I gotta go pot up this plant, eat dinner, and go up and give the baby a bath, and figure out why these two are arguing over a packing peanut or something. But thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry it was a little bit of a short live stream. We'll be back in 2 weeks, which would put us at what day is today? Where's my calendar? I don't like Macs because they don't like. You can't get the calendar easily. It's like my one gripe. So today's the 28th. Can we go? Here she is. Okay. Would be the 12th. Yes. Yeah, I'm shutting it down now. Okay, alright, I'm done. Okay. Alright guys, I gotta go. Too much chaos going on. Alright. I will see you guys on the 12th.